The 2024 Lexus RX. Many people have been asking me if now is a good time to pull the trigger on the new RX, and I'm going to answer more of that throughout the video. But first, I want to talk about what's new with the 2024 model year. To be honest, not much at all, at least with the regular vehicles. What they've done is they made the Cloudburst Gray color available on every model, and the new copper crest color is available on the premium and the F Sport handling package cars. And yes, some subtle tweaks and changes with the technology and the convenience features on the various trim levels. But that's about it for the regular RXs. The other big news, which I already covered in a separate video, is the introduction of a RX 450h plug-in hybrid, which can do 37 miles of pure EV range. Again, I go into more detail regarding that model in a separate video. But the main issue with the new plug-in hybrid is the price. It's only really available as a top-of-the-line luxury model, and there's still several packages that you can add to the plug-in hybrid to raise the price even further, which it already starts at 70 grand. So you can see how that gets really pricey really quick with options. So it's hard to recommend that. Plus, the availability on hybrids and plug-in hybrid Lexus vehicles, yeah, it's still scarce. They're still playing a lot of games with us regarding hybrid vehicles. Not to mention, if you are able to get one, there's pretty much no real discounts on those. You're going to be paying MSRP for the most part, unlike with the regular turbo 4-cylinder models where you can get up to 8 or 9% off MSRP, because I did partner with AutoCompanion, one of the largest brokers in the United States, and he is offering 8 to 9% off MSRP on RX 350 models with the 2.5 liter turbo 4-cylinder with 275 horsepower, 317 pounds-feet of torque. Before I get into more of AutoCompanion's deals, I'm going to answer most people's question: is now a good time to purchase the RX 350? Everyone's realizing that the hybrid is very difficult to get, and even if they do get it, they will be paying MSRP, which when you are paying these inflated prices, the hybrids no longer make much sense because they naturally cost more than the pure gasoline counterparts, and you're getting a substantial discount when you're going with the pure gas models. So I feel like many people have naturally ruled out the hybrids and they are looking into the regular RX 350, and that's a fine choice. I'll be honest, I do like the 2.5 liter turbo 4-cylinder. It's reasonably refined, and it's not a bad replacement for the 3.5 liter V6. It's not a completely silent engine or anything. It's not quite as refined as the BMW or the Audi 4-cylinders, but the Turbo 4 from Lexus, it is significantly better than the naturally aspirated 4-cylinder found in the hybrid, which I tested. I don't know what it is with some of these Toyota Lexus products, but when I tested the RX 350h, the 2023 model, that engine was making such a racket, that naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. But on the other hand, I tested a new Toyota Crown, the XLE model, and that was significantly quieter, even though it also utilized a 4-cylinder engine. And that's something that makes recommending some of these Toyota Lexus vehicles very difficult. There is so much discrepancy on how these vehicles drive, and it makes it very hard to recommend to you a particular model, because I can drive a vehicle, say that RX 350h, and completely hate it, and I can report to you my honest thoughts and opinions. But it's totally possible that for 2024, Lexus made some subtle tweaks and improvements. Maybe they added some more sound deadening materials and they're just not disclosing it, but the 2024s could be a little bit better to drive. It could be a little bit smoother. But this is something I've noticed driving many Lexus vehicles over the years, used and new. You can get into one vehicle and absolutely love it, and you can get into another Lexus vehicle and it can be loud, it can be noisy, it can be unrefined, it can potentially not even ride that great. The experience can be all over the place. Sure, that's happened with some other manufacturers as well, but it's really been common with Lexus. I don't know why that is. Mind you, I'm talking about new and used vehicles. So the best advice I can give you is do a thorough test drive on the exact vehicle that you plan on purchasing. Like, let's say you place an order for a new custom vehicle, which a lot of people are doing that now. Once the vehicle has finished its production and it's landed at the dealership, before you take delivery, do a thorough test drive on that car and make sure that you love driving it. That's the most important thing. Make sure it feels right to you. But just to help you out, I have noticed one common theme. The F-Sport models from Lexus seem to be one of the best driving ones. It's not necessarily because they're sportier per se, they just feel more polished. It's hard to explain, but I've never had a bad experience driving a F-Sport. They've all been great in terms of handling, refinement, quietness, and even ride quality. So in my opinion, if you're interested in either a RX 350 or an NX 350, I would go with the F-Sport models and the F-Sport handling model, not just the appearance package or anything. I don't know what it is, but throughout the years of me reviewing cars, I've never had a bad experience with an F-Sport. Plus they look great and they will most likely hold value a little bit better in the used car market. It'll make your car a little bit more desirable, and they tend to be the perfect Lexus experience. So that's some advice I can give you. And yes, I don't mind the 2.5 liter turbo 4-cylinder. Made it to the 8-speed automatic. All that performs well. And being that this is a 2024 RX, this is the second model year of this new generation, so that's a good thing. It's best to avoid the first model year of any vehicle. And the new NX, that technically came out in 2022, so that's the second model year. Something to think about. I like both. Between the NX and the RX, a lot of people ask me which is the better choice. For the traditional Lexus buyer, you're really going to appreciate the RX. It does feel slightly more substantial and premium, if you will. However, that's not to take away from the NX. I really like the way the NX drives. It has a nimble, sharp handling nature, especially as an F-Sport, and I really love that. So both are great in their own little ways, but the RX is that more traditional, luxury feeling product. And another big highlight for me with the new Lexus vehicles, especially the RX I tested, is the new seats. It's by far some of the most comfortable Lexus seats I've ever felt in my life. It's non-fatiguing. You can do a lot of miles in these new products, so I really appreciate that. The new infotainments, they're great, they're sharp, they work really fast. So there's definitely a lot to like here. I do like these products, plus they look amazing in my personal opinion. I know that's subjective, but I think Lexus did a great job with the design of these vehicles. But it's now a good time to purchase? I don't know. That really depends on your personal financial situation, because these vehicles are not cheap, whether you lease or whether you finance. So this is going to be the segment of the video where I talk about AutoCompanion and how I partnered with them so I can help you, the consumer, save some money on these vehicles, because some dealerships, they're still on some BS and they're charging over sticker price for these new Lexus vehicles, and that is ridiculous. I wouldn't even pay MSRP for these because they've really bloated the price of these products over the years. And a well-equipped RX 350 F Sport, it's going to be about 65 grand, and a well-equipped NX 350 F Sport handling pack, that's going to be a little over $55,000. And when you go through AutoCompanion, you can save between 8 to 9% off MSRP. He does charge a broker fee, but if you use my affiliate link in the description box below, he will take some money off of that broker fee. And he does ship nationwide if you're not local to DC, but that's something you would have to pay for, or you can pick it up yourself at DC, whatever you want. But here's the other thing. AutoCompanion and some of the large dealerships that he works with, they'll definitely have some in-stock units available, but they might not have the options that you're looking for, especially the desirable stuff like the Mark Levinson audio system. Apparently they had some nonsense shortage going on for the ML audios. That's something that many people want, and it's hard to get, so you can place an order through AutoCompanion and their dealership network for a custom order, but of course you're gonna have to wait several months for your vehicle to finish being built, but that discount will still apply to you. So up to you on how you want to proceed with that. The most important thing for me is that you save money on these vehicles, and AutoCompanion also has a free leasing calculator, which I will have linked in the description box below. This is a powerful resource and tool because it shows you the interest rate on the lease, as well as the residual value and the incentives that you can qualify for. An incentive is a discount coming from the manufacturer themselves. The 8 and the 9% off, that comes from the dealership. That's two different things. So if you lease the new RX, you can get an additional $1,000 in lease cash, and that stacks on top of the 9% off that you get. and that's great. However, the lease deals absolutely suck right now. The interest rate is over 7% interest. That's really unfortunate. That means payments are about $900 a month for the RX and over $800 a month for the NX. Sadly, the finance for a new RX or NX is pretty awful as well at 5.9% for 60 months. That means your payments are going to be well over $1,100 a month. The only way you can really save right now and take advantage of these deals is if you have some cash available or you have a pretty large income so you can pay off this vehicle very quickly if you finance it. And if you're leasing, if you do things like a one-pay lease, or if you put down some multiple security deposits, you can bring down the interest rate on the lease, but that's going to require a lot of capital from your end. It's just an unfortunate time to purchase right now, and that's why some of these cars are so hard for me to recommend. Obviously, you can save a lot more by going with the NX, but I hope you at least appreciate the effort. I'm trying to help you save money on these products. A lot of other journalists, they don't really care about that. They just tell you the MSRP, and that's the end of that story. But I want to share with you resources and ways in which you can save, because it's just imperative nowadays that we think outside of the box and find different ways on purchasing these vehicles to make it affordable for us. So if you appreciate that, please consider liking and subscribing. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comment section below. But thank you so much for your time. Take care and goodbye.